Should.
We are. It's live.
Yay! Hey, everybody!
Howdy, y'all.
Yeehaw! It's Western night, y'all. I'm glad you have your horses all tied up at the trees underneath the treehouse tonight because we're going Western. I've got Barry Potter. Is going to be in the house with us shortly. He's just getting home from work. Barry Potter is a bull rider. And so I thought it'd be fun to get him on the show. He's an awesome dude. You guys are going to love him. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And welcome to Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA. Thank you for all coming to my treehouse tonight. And we got the lovely Michelle Aldridge in the house. Hello, Michelle. How are you today?
AKA Thumper, my nickname.
Oh, there you go. Well, you can even put that in your little name thing. Yeah. What is it? AKA what?
Thumper.
Oh, Thumper. Okay, I love that.
My uncle has called me Thumper since I was a little baby, little kid.
That's cute. That's so cute. So how are you tonight, Michelle?
I'm good.
Good. See, I'm learning a lot of different little quirks because I watch my podcast during the day. So I'm learning I can change up my opening, when we're live, yay! And I tonight I said the treehouse, Lindy's treehouse, and then I said my name, Paramount USA.
Yep.
So some of you out there are probably wondering, we're just going to chit chat till Barry comes in, gets in the treehouse with us. You're probably wondering how some of you out there that are listening, welcome. You're probably wondering how I got the name Paramount USA. Well, years ago, way back when I was just a bitty thing. No, I'm just kidding. I got the name because my son, Robert Michaels, as you all know, from the former paragliding talk show that was on Thursday nights, was a paraglider. And I had to think of a catchy name, I had to think of a flying name, however you guys do it. So I came up with the name Paramount USA, and I've kept it ever since. When I did Sean's show for like 4 years, I learned a lot. I learned a lot on the Clear Prop TV, with the guys and everything, and I met a lot of cool paragliders and paramotors, and got lots of guests in, and it was a lot of fun. And then of course, y'all were asking, well, now that Robert's gone, who's going to do Thursday nights?
Mm-hmm.
And so here I am. So this is like my 22nd show or something. It's been June is when I started my first show. So I don't have the fancy background because if I put a green screen back here, my cat it'll go bye-bye. So I know y'all want to be entertained tonight, but not that kind of entertained. Yeah, you don't want.
Cats are interesting. They will knock stuff over.
And she knows what it is, and if she gets ornery enough, it would go down because she's a big girl. She's not like a little kitty, smaller kitty anymore.
John Wayne said he'd rather do acro with binders with twine lines than ride a bull.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got some cool sayings. I'm going to wait for Barry to get here and his lovely wife, Nina. I've known Barry. I'm sure I met him at some rodeos in the past, like way back. But it's kind of cool because we know the same people doing the rodeo trail. And I just thought all those years and everything. And I just thought, because my ex-husband was a rodeo photographer, and so I would travel around with him, and I met a lot of cool people and whatnot. And I know a lot of people on my Facebook. I'm trying to get a barrel racer on here. So if y'all know of a barrel racer, let me know.
I used to do barrel racing.
And see, you have that is cool. Oh, who's in the house? Greg Laney. Welcome, Greg Laney. We're waiting for my guest, Barry Shepard.
I
Um,
used to barrel race. I used to show Western pleasure. I used to do jumping, English riding. I used to
Look at you.
saddle break horses.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Did you ever did you my boys used to do the gincanas.
Oh yeah, that's barrel racing,
They
pole
would have
bending.
they would
Yeah,
have so much fun. But the horse that they used to bring, because what they used to take for gincanas, she was a mare.
yeah,
And
mine was too.
okay, so I'm just gonna leave it right there. She was a mare. And so um, they ended up putting like a red ribbon on her tail
Oh
because
yeah.
she was ornery, you know. And I remember she taught me how to. I learned how to ride on her, and she probably could have killed me. Um, but she would never would throw anybody off, but she would do this little hop, just a little, you know how they do that, just to get
Hmm.
my attention. But the boys, yeah, I used to. Gymkhanas were fun.
Oh yeah.
Remember they'd have the egg races, and then they'd have
Yeah.
the one where you take the horses and you run them to the horse trailer, and you have to. I don't know if you put the saddle, throw the saddle on the back of the horse, and then ride it across the arena. You know,
Ours had the one we used to do. It had the barrel racing, the pole bending. Let's see, they had this ribbon race where you had to take that uh, like that real fine paper ribbon stuff,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
Ooh, okay, Greg, I'm gonna write that down.
and
Thanks,
my
thanks, Greg.
my mom had to have one end of it with her horse, and I had to have one end of it with my horse, and we had to like run down to the end and go around a barrel and come back without breaking that, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was so hard. My horse was like freaking out. She was like snorting. She didn't like that ribbon stuff in her face.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and that's the thing, like the queens, you know, that run the flags through the, you know, through the flag girls they call them. You know, it's a lot of training. You have
Yeah.
to get.
Greg says now if he taught horses to fly paramotors, that would be something.
Oh boy, yeah, no kidding. Well, I was teasing Barry today, and I said, "Wow, I didn't know," because you know he's old. I call him he's old, but I said to Barry, I said, "I didn't know that dinosaurs can ride bulls now." He just started cracking up. I call him a dinosaur because you know you're a dinosaur. Okay, I wrote that down, Greg. Thank you. Yeah, so we're just kind of yeah, we're kind of waiting on Barry and just talking horsey stuff and yeah, I had a couple horses and we boarded horses because and in Arizona with when my boys were little, we had a little farm, so we used to we board horses, and then I told you the story of the I told my husband at the time I wanted a donkey.
Yeah.
So we went to the Bureau of Land Management (BLM) adoption, and they had wild Mustangs and burros.
Mhm.
So I ended up getting a burro, little Jenny, and she was in full. So I pretty much got 2 for 1.
Mhm.
And so I remember I was at work and I got a call from the kids, and her name was Tequila Sunrise. Tequila, she had her baby. Mom, she had her baby in the yard. I'm like, of course I missed it.
Yeah.
The easy part, you know.
They always have them when you at least expect it.
It was such a cool experience, though, right? Because you're taking an animal from the wild,
Mhm.
and um, and we brought her home. Uh, at after a few days or whatever, you know, her getting kind of used to everything. I put a halter on her, and the lead rope, and I would go into her little pen with like carrots in my hand.
Mhm.
And every day, it was cute because they have that long neck, and every day she would get closer and closer and closer, and pretty soon she was eating out of my hand. And so, you know, they're, and then the thing is, you know, I would let the dogs out at 2 in the morning, and they would both start braying. And
Mm.
and my and I told them I called him when he was bad, the baby. I'd call him a burrito, I said, you're going to be a burrito tomorrow if you don't knock it off. Because if I didn't close the shed door all the way right, he would get in the chicken feed, and I would have chicken feed everywhere or whatever. But Ryan actually rode the baby. Got old enough for Ryan, rode the baby to his school because it was down the street from us for show and tell. And
John Wayne said he traded a circus horse for 2 donkeys once. Hated those donkeys. Couldn't keep them in a fence.
Oh yeah, they're escape artists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good job on those. Good job on reading the comments, Michelle. I appreciate that because I'm just chatting away here, trying to keep everybody entertained. The horse name was Flame.
I had a friend of mine one time. He had this horse. Bill H said his horse's name was Flame, and I had a horse one time. This dude, he had this gelding, and
that's what I had a gelding.
I had a mare that he liked, and he had gotten bucked off of a horse before he bought this horse, and ended up breaking his back. So he was leery of any horses that made any kind of noise, and he had gotten his gelding, and it kind of grunted every time he tried to put a saddle on him. So he was like, I don't know if he's broke to ride. He was a real pretty gelding too. He's like a buckskin color.
Yeah.
And he goes, I really like your mare. He said, you think you'd want to trade? So I traded him my mare for that gelding. And we had a pin that was like roped off that I could just free lunge him without a rope. And so I started with a saddle. I put a saddle on him. And the first time I put a saddle on that sucker and let him loose, he had all 4 feet up in the air. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh my gosh.
And,
no, I've never like.
So for the whole week, I took and did nothing but lunge him with a saddle for a whole week. And after that, I just took and got him used to everything. And then I started with a lot of groundwork and took my time with that.
That's amazing.
And took a bag and tied it to the end of my lunge whip and like rubbed it all over his body, up under his belly, between his legs, around his face.
Yep.
And then when I got to where I figured he was comfortable, I would take and just kind of get up.
Barry said he's almost home.
Oh, okay. I would take and put
Barry's I'm sorry. Okay, guys in the chat, guys and gals, Barry said, just text me. He messaged me what he said he's almost home. So he's just getting home from work because he's in Nebraska. He's from Nebraska. So I'm glad that he's very super excited to be on the show, you guys. You're going to love him. You're going to, I've known him for years. Like I said, I think I met him somewhere down the road in the early days of like 2000-ish, and he was still riding, and he's still riding bulls. So and if he has to stay home, for too long, they get antsy. Just like, it's the same, right? The paramotor peeps, right?
Oh,
if
yeah.
they don't get to fly, after so long, they get ornery and, all that stuff. And so what's Greg Laney?
He said, Kramer, are you getting ready for the holidays? Any thoughts of doing extra flying?
Yeah, I think she is in the chat, Greg. She's just gonna hang in the chat tonight because she wanted to check on her kids and feed them and all that. So there she is. Okay.
My Mercury Marquis was named Flame because it has an electrical shirt and it caught on fire. Haha, headed to the next house listening again.
Okay, Kramer, be careful. Be careful, my gypsy. I miss you. I miss you. Electric
short. Oh, not shirt. She meant short.
Kramer, that gypsy girl, she's amazing. And you're amazing, Michelle. I'm so blessed to have you be on the show with me every week. I absolutely love it. I think we make a great team. I love my chatters. I love you guys. And okay, all right, Michelle, I'm gonna save my voice. Tell Scuba where Kramer is, or Kramer will say on the way. Slow days. What's up, slow days? Slow days. Slow days. Hi, slow days. Scooby Doo. What's up, Scooby Doo? Thanks for coming to the treehouse tonight. We're just waiting on the guests, Scooby. So just sit back, grab a brewski, whatever. We used to call them brewskis. I don't know what they call them. I remember just calling it a brewski. Grab a brewski. Slow days. What the heck is going on with you, dude? Slow days. I want to get you on the show. Be a guest. Are you slow days? Don't you have a van or something you were working on to make it into a paramotor travel thing? Slow days. Wasn't that you? Were you working on a van or a bus or something a while back? Sometimes I get them mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so
yeah, slow days hangs out with what do I want to say? Hot Butter Seat. I think he went and visited him. Slow days. Yeah, they're buddies.
But yeah, so this horse I was working with, I just kept taking my time with him, and when I felt he was ready, I took and stood next to him and just kind of put my foot in the saddle and hopped up and down and got him used to the up and down motion, because that's what scares them.
Yeah,
going on the ground, jumping up in the saddle.
Yeah.
And by the time I got done, I had him fully saddle broke within probably a month. And he did not buck and he did not rear.
You're awesome sauce, girl.
And then I ended up actually breaking him to run barrels. And I had him running barrel patterns by the time I left. Slow Days.
Cool.
Slow Days says, no, not me. I would have nowhere to keep it.
Okay, so it's not Slow Days. I'm trying to think. There's so many of them out there. And I get on the show here and I'm trying to think of all different things going on. And then I always draw a blank on names
Yeah. I told Randy when we get to actual retiring age that I would love to take and just go travel a little bit. Get a hotel somewhere, travel some.
Yeah.
Visit different cities, countries, states. Because I've never really been anywhere to any states. I've lived in Oregon a little bit. Of course, I lived in California. I was born in California, so I don't want to go back there. I don't care about that.
It's expensive.
And I've been through Missouri, but I never did stop. And of course, I've been to Tennessee and stuff, different parts of Tennessee. And I've been to Alabama. I've been to small states around close by, but I've never been to Michigan. I've never been to Montana. I've never been to Arizona. I want to see all those.
See, you'll just have to come up here. It's beautiful here in the summer. It's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I love it up here. And I'm just really.
I told him, I said, by the time we retire and stuff, heck, we probably won't have as many animals as we do now, because a couple of our dogs are already 6 years old, so are fixing to be 6 years old.
Yeah. I remember we had to, when my boys were little, and we kept our animals. We had, we had chickens and ducks and geese and rabbits, because every time we went to the feed store, we had to bring something home, right?
Yeah.
So we always had, and we had a back room that wasn't finished. And I had birds in there. I had parakeets and finches and lovebirds, and I also had two. I had how many? Has anybody ever had a parrots for a pet in the chat?
We had a parrot one time. It was a red-headed Amazon parrot.
Oh, those are cool. I had a Goffin cockatoo, and her name was Baby, and she had quite a vocabulary. And when we moved, or no, when my ex at the time, let's see, how did this work here? I'm getting my exes mixed up with the birds here. So I had the Goffin cockatoo, and then I got my first divorce, then the golfing cockatoo went to my ex's house because I was going to be living in an apartment, whatever. And so, yeah, so I couldn't keep it. So it went with him or whatnot. Um, and then when I met my second one, uh, his dad had parrots. And lo and behold, I don't know how it happened, but we ended up getting, custody of both the birds. One was a golfing cockatoo, is the one that I had with my first husband, whatever.
Oh,
And my
yeah.
second husband was the gray one, the gray birds.
Hmm.
What they
Oh,
call?
Amazon Gray.
Yes, yes. And hi, Will Fly. We're just waiting on my guest. He's just getting home from work. So Barry Potter will be in the studio soon. So I had we ended up getting custody of African gray. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
had. Oh, did you have an African gray, Greg? You had an African gray bird? She was smart. That bird had a vocabulary on her.
Oh yeah, they're the most I've read about them. They're the most vocal. They can have a vocabulary as just like a 3-year-old child.
Yeah, she would sit there like if I threw the ball to the dogs or whatever, she would say, "Did you get it?" And she said, "What are you doing? Cooking dinner?"
Yeah, they're
And
the
then,
most vocal of out of all the parrot families.
so what is Greg saying? I'm letting you
Greg
read.
said no, but I remember them from the pet store. They were very expensive and very cool birds. Yeah,
Yeah,
they are very expensive still. I want one so bad, but they are super expensive.
it's so weird how birds just stayed in my life, like
I used to have little lovebirds and
Oh, I
parakeets.
had lovebirds too. I had conures. I had lovebirds and I had conures, and I had parakeets. And I remember one time when with my second husband, we had parakeets, and we came home, and this is what I did. We came home, and it had been really hot that day, and the cooler thing went off,
Mm.
and the parakeet died from the heat. Because we both were working. We didn't know there was a power outage or something happened.
Oh yeah.
So I did. So I didn't want to. I didn't know what to do with them. I felt so bad and everything. So I put him in a shoebox and I wrapped him up and I put him in the freezer
Oh
for
jeez.
a couple months. Yes, I did. I did that. Yeah. Yeah. I put him in the freezer. Um, yeah, I was really sad. And it was funny because this bird, when we first got him, well, we named him Garth. Well, one day I come home and Garth is sitting on the bottom of the cage. And I'm like, what the heck? Is he sick or what's going on? No, Garth was not Garth because Garth was laying eggs, which means it was a female.
Mm.
So we had to change. I don't know what we changed his name to something else. And the same thing happened when we got guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We had a couple of guinea pigs and we put them in the cage together. And lo and behold, and they were.
Yeah, I ended up having a guinea pig one time, and I thought it was a boy. And I went to school, and my mom called the office and said she needed to talk to me. I was like, "Oh, something's wrong." And so I went to the office and talked to her, and she said, "Well, your boy guinea pig just had babies." I was like, "What?"
I know. I remember going looking in their little cage, and I'm like, what is? And the babies.
I had a wood box built. I didn't have an actual cage. I had an actual long wood box built for them, and my mom and a little wooden house that I built. And my mom walks by and she seen my guinea pig come out, and then she seen a couple little black things go zoop zoop, and she goes, "What the heck was that?" And so she looked in there, and there was 3 little babies.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we ended up changing their names to the male. We named because he was a fat little thing. So the male's name was Puff Daddy, and the female was we had to change the name to Beretta because originally it was Bear. So
Greg Laney said he can only afford 1 keep, but he always wanted parakeets.
and then it ended up same thing happened. The power went out, in the summer, and we lost the guinea pigs. And aren't they funny? Because every time you open up the fridge, they start going making that
Oh
noise.
yeah.
And the whole, my whole the house smelled like a pet store.
Yeah.
But now those two, when they died, or whatever, we grabbed a shoebox and everything, and we went out to the field by the house, and we buried them. So, yes, you get this going. Come on, waiting for my my mouse to work. There we go. Hey,
How are you doing, Miss Lindy?
good. I want to see your face.
I'm right here.
You can put it. I don't know. Are you on your phone or are you on your laptop?
It's on
Because we want to.
right phone.
So maybe turn the phone. What do they always say? You turn the phone sideways. Remember how we did that with you?
How's that?
That's better.
Yeah. And then can you hear us and everything? Or you could turn your volume up a little bit so everybody can hear you. I am so super stoked. I'm stoked tonight, Barry. I finally get to meet you, even though I know we've crossed paths in the. I love the name Little Bear, and I know I was saying how in the rodeo world that I'm sure way back in our younger years that we probably passed each other by the Porta Johns or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we did.
Got to see each other and everything, and I am so happy to have you here. And hi, Nina. Just want to say hi to your lovely lady.
Yep, it's Nina. She's right there.
Yay! Thank you for helping Little Bear. I love that.
That's why I had to plug it in.
We are gonna have so much fun tonight. I want to get everybody in the chat say a big yeehaw. Let's do it. Come on, I want to see it in the chat. Yeehaw! Because we're getting Western tonight, okay? Because we got my bull rider here, my Little Bear in the house. And how did you get that nickname, Little Bear? Because you're little?
Well, that kind of started, but my aunt, she was full-blooded Apache, and that's what she named me when I was tiny. She said, "You're just Little Bear."
I love that.
So
I love that. That is so cool. So
Deweese is in the house.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go through the chat, and we'll say hi to everybody. My chatters are really cool peeps, Little Bear. So any questions? Michelle is my lovely assistant, and she's gonna read the chat and the questions and everything.
We got Bill H, John Wayne, Greg Laney.
Welcome, chatters.
Deweese, Scuba, Slow Days.
everyone.
All right.
Will Fly.
Welcome. Oh, we're going to have a good time tonight. I'm so glad that everybody's here. And thank you so much, Little Bear, for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
I know you want to get closer to the mic, or maybe turn your volume up a little bit. But I've got, because I kind of asked you at the last minute, to come on and see how easy it is. See, look now you're an expert. See?
No, I'm not. Nina done this. I mean, she just got in the doors the same time as I got in the door, and I'm going, honey, I'm lost on this. You got to help me out here.
Oh no, thank you so much, Nina. No, you sound great. You sound great. So I always start out the show.
Oh, where'd he go?
Whoops, he hit something. Come back, Little Bear. Now Nina's got to fix it because he probably bumped the phone or something. These cowboys, I tell you, these bull riders, you know what I'm saying? We got a good thing Nina's around to help him get back.
John Embo's in the house too.
Who is?
John Embo.
Oh yeah, my brother. Well, it's actually John and Kim. So
okay.
Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Johnny, if you're listening. Yeah, I can't see you, Little Bear, because you turned your video off. So you got to put your video back on. You probably bumped it or something. Yeah, he'll come back. So what are they saying in the chat too? This is going to be fun. Mary's going to tell us all kinds of stuff.
I see Scuba said he bought a small scooter that says it can hold 265 PDS. I'm going to test that, LOL.
There we go. Oh, he's back.
There he is. Well,
Yeah, we kind of got lost there for a minute.
What's that song? A little bit sideways.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you can say that when you're riding bulls, you know. So we're going to kind of start the show here. I usually start it with, I kind of read some things, just fun little quick quotes here to start the show. So I'm just going to read something. I'm just going to open the book and read something really quick so we can get you to talk about how you started in bull riding and just kind of see, the show is kind of like we're in the treehouse. And remember when you're growing up and you'd be in the treehouse, we all be hanging out and you tell stories and,
Okay.
stories about life and this and that. Well, this is kind of like the theme that I like for my treehouse. I just get people in here and we just talk about stuff. And so tonight it's rodeo. And I told them they all have their horses tied up down by the trees, by the treehouse. Their horses are all tied up tonight, so they could, come up here. So it's almost like we play imaginary, Last week was Halloween, so I pretended like the treehouse was haunted. So you got to be, you got to really get creative, right?
Oh, that's all right. We all can get creative.
So what'd you say?
I said we can all get creative. You know how that works.
So I'm going to read this real quick, and then we'll get started because I have some other little quirky things. I planned all this out a little bit. This is called Find Your Inner Leader. Okay, everybody in the chat. Okay, find your inner leader. We each have potential to lead. To some, it comes naturally. To most, it's cloaked in self-doubt and fear. For some, it means leading on a big stage. For most, it means taking on a lead in the small things. As a parent, a friend, in a family, at work, the power is within you. And then it says, last but not least, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. I love this. My friend gave me this cool little book, and it's called Be Happy, and it's got all kinds of different things in it. So I want to share that with you guys. Find your inner leader, and I could say that would pertain to bull riding, because bull riding's a sport. Just like my peeps in here, they fly paramotors. And they do paragliding, and so I went on a paramotor ride the last 3 years, and I loved it. So I have a lot of cool parapeeps in here that were excited to have you on here, Little Bear. So please tell me how you got started in bull riding, or how you met Nina. How did she get you in bull riding, or how? Please tell us your story, because I really want to know.
I can tell you what, you parapeeps, I tell you what, you're braver than I am. I have a hard time just flying to rodeos, let alone get up there and do that. It's like, nope, y'all are more braver than I ever will be on doing that.
Well, it's only 2,000 feet in the air,
Yeah. I have to have a few beers just before I get on the plane, and relax like that. But
yes.
As far as meeting my wife, Nina, I'm 7 years older than her, and I've known her since she was 12 years old. And there was a time at that point.
Yet, are you? You're not 70, are you?
No, I'm only 62. I'm still a youngster.
Yeah, you are. I'm older than you. So I'm the dinosaur here.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Whatever, Lindsay. Give me a break on that one.
Next year I'll be
Um,
70, but you know, what it is what
well,
it is.
you're looking like 61, so you're all right.
Did you say 51? I'm
I said
sorry.
61. Okay, 51 will work too. How's that?
Okay. Okay, you can stay on now. I won't kick you out. I won't throw you off. I won't throw you off the treehouse. Throw you out of the treehouse. You're good. Okay, so
Oh,
go ahead
yeah.
with your story.
As far as rodeo and everything, I started a little bit late getting into the sport, about 23 years old. My cousins were all bull riders and everything, and me, I told them, I said, y'all's crazy. I said, you guys are nuts. So at about 23, I decided to try bareback riding, and I did that for a couple of years and ran into my cowboy friend that I went to high school with, Randy Mortar, and he was a bull rider, and we traveled together.
Yeah.
And he finally talked me into getting on some bulls at Charlie Sampson's place
Okay.
when Charlie lived in Casa Grande,
Okay.
and I got on like 3 or 4 bulls at Charlie's, and after that, I sold all my bareback riding equipment, and it's been history for over 30 years. So it's
Wow,
kind of
so
been
you were a
fun.
bareback rider too before
Yes,
you were
ma'am.
bull riding. I
Yes,
didn't,
ma'am.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow. Wow, and you lived to tell. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I did. Mr. Travis Cooley and everything.
Can
When
you
we
tell?
used to ride,
Can you explain to the chat what a bareback rider is? Like what that means or whatever? Because some of them might think it's just a cowboy on a horse with no shirt or something.
no, what a bareback rider is they have a one-handled rigging that goes, around the horse, kind of like a saddle, but
There-
it's just got a small handhold in it that you have to squeeze your hand in there, and the horse has got a flank on the back to help make it buck. And once that hand is done in that little rig in there, you're kind of stuck in there, and you call for the gate and reach out and just try to do the best you can.
yeah, so you have to mark them out, right? That's what they call it.
Yes,
Mark them out.
yes, ma'am.
Your feet have to be a certain
Yeah,
way.
they have to come up over the front shoulders on the first jump out. You have to put your feet up there
Yeah.
over the front shoulders, and you got to hold them there until that bareback horse hits the ground, and then you got to start kind of what they call raking them or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to come to the front of the horse, come back, get back to the front of the horse before his front hooves hit the ground.
I have so much respect for you guys. Oh my gosh. And you have to pretty much, you got to be in shape for that too. My goodness. Chatters, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, but if you got any question, ask the little bear. Okay. So you used to do bareback riding, and
Uh-huh.
then what made you change your mind to stop doing it?
Well, my best friend, like I said, that I went to high school with, he told me, you'll be a better bull rider than you are a bareback rider because you're too short. Your legs aren't long enough. And when you get hung up in that bareback rigging, you can't reach the ground.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah. That's
the
funny.
pickup man liked me because they could flip me over the other side and my hand would pop out of the rigging. But it was just a deal of it was just a fun deal, and it's been a
Sure.
blast.
Well, at least you tried it. You gave it a
Yep.
try to see if you like it or not, because you don't know till you try.
Nope, you
And
don't.
and like I said, you got to be in shape because the back takes a beating, I would think. And then you're going around that arena and you're trying to jump off that horse, and the pickup men are trying to grab you so that you don't get run over. And I totally have respect for the pickup man. They
Oh,
wow, yeah,
you know as well as I do, Lindsay. I mean, the rodeo family is amazing.
it
Uh,
is.
once you get into it, whether you're a barrel racer, team roper, it doesn't matter. It's an amazing family to be in there. because they all take care of each other. I
Yeah,
would imagine kind of like the same what you do, and you're gliding all over everywhere, it's one big family.
it's
Um,
yeah. I used to co-host. It was Clear Prop TV, and I co-hosted that for like 4 years, and I would get guests on the show, for Sean, and I liked it. I loved it. And then he decided to go on different, bigger, and better things or whatever. So my son Robert, he lives in California. He's a paraglider. That's how I got the name Paramom, and so I
uh-huh.
named myself Paramom. So he's a paraglider, and I got interested in flying. Hearing all about him flying and watching his shows because he had a show on Thursday night, and then he decided because of family, he did it for like 4 years, and with family and everything, it was just too much. So everybody kept asking me, "Who's going to do Thursday?" And then my daughter-in-law was like, "Why don't you do it?" And I'm like, "Me? What? I don't know." And here I am. So there you
I
go.
think it's kind of awesome. All of what you do is awesome. The same as what we do in rodeo. We're in two different types of adrenaline rush. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
y-
Yeah.
y'all are paragliding, flying, and I'm getting on 2,000 pounds of animal that we both don't know what's going to happen, but it's just a rush and it's fun.
Oh my gosh. I still my first tandem that I went on in 2022. Um, it's something I'll never forget. And I had just moved to Michigan, and so I was pretty much called it freshly divorced, kind of thing. So I called freshly divorced, and so I after that I didn't have anybody in Arizona anymore. I'm like, why am I staying here? So my son said, "Mom, why don't you come back?" And so I did like a full circle, and I came back, and yeah, and then I started getting this paramotor thing, and then I went, and it was such a cool experience because I had stepped out of my comfort zone. I'd never imagined myself doing it, and I knew if I didn't do it, and you know how this with your sport, you want to get on that bull, and you're thinking, I don't know, should I go bull riding? But if I don't do it, then I'm going to be mad at myself, regret it. So I decided, before I knew it, I was sitting in the seat. I went up in the air, and when we landed, all these emotions up in the air, Barry, came out. When I landed, everybody was crying, laughing. I had so much going on then. And since that day, and I always tell Eric and Jade Lear are the ones that got me up in the air. I'm forever, ever grateful to them. They're like family to me, just like you said, rodeo. And it
Mm-hmm.
changed my life. It really did. Because, when I came here, I felt like a nobody. I really did. And then I started thinking, just because I'm divorced doesn't mean that I can't stay friends with a lot of my barrel racers, right?
Well, sure.
So I still keep in contact with a bunch of peeps on there. Um, they're they're awesome, and that's the thing. I gravitate to people, you know, like you in the rodeo, in the rodeo world or whatever, that are driven for life. Just like my paramotor peeps. I gravitate to that, to people that are positive. Positive about life, and they want to do things, and that's why yeah, that's why. And this show is just about everybody getting together, telling their story. So, so you okay. So then you stopped doing the bareback, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell your story. I'm going to go grab my charger for my computer so that it doesn't die in the middle of the show. So you go ahead. The stage
Well,
is yours, little bear.
oh, the space is mine. Well, I've been riding bulls for over 30 years. Um, I've been married to my best friend now and my biggest sponsor, my biggest fan ever, and that's my wife, Nina. Um, she was my biggest deal in the PRCA, IPRA, and everything. Um, and it's been a blast. And I took about an 18-year hiatus of riding bulls. Um, Came home from work and we were doing real good in the PRCA and just having a lot of fun. And my wife goes, "We're gonna have a baby," and I went, "Really?"
Oh,
And that was yeah, that's our youngest daughter, Hope. And she asked if I would take a break from rodeoing and till our youngest daughter, Hope, graduated high school. So I took about an 18-year hiatus, and Nina figured I'd grow out of getting on bulls and everything like that. Well, in 2014, when my daughter graduated high school, I had already went to Arthur Begay, John Edelman, Tim Gallegos, everyone, and ordered all my spurs, got everything going, got my senior pro card, and it's been history since then. So, and we're still going.
Well, that's good. Well, I don't fly paramotors, but I have been I did used to barrel race, and I have saddle broke horses.
Well, my wife Nina was a barrel racer also. She rode barrels and everything, and it's like you said, it's a sport that it's hard to explain the adrenaline of it, no matter what you're doing, whether you're a team roper, bulldogger, barrel racer, ribbon roper. It's a kind of like y'all do. It's something hard to explain
Oh yeah.
until you do it.
You ever
yeah.
use the when you're riding the bulls? Do you ever do the suicide rap?
Uh no, I don't. I've done it a couple of times.
Oh, Will's got a
To
question,
me,
Michelle.
yes. Go ahead.
Michelle,
So
what's Will
barrel
asking?
racing is where they put three barrels in a cloverleaf pattern, and the horse has to go. You have to guide the horse around that certain pattern as quick as possible. The fastest time wins.
Within like 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, if the barrel falls over, then you get a
It's a
penalty and you
yeah.
don't
It's
get
like
a score.
I think it's a 5 second penalty if it
Yeah,
falls over.
Yep.
yeah. Talk about adrenaline on that.
Oh yeah. And
Um,
those horses that are trained for barrel racing, they're basically what I call bullets with ears because that's all they do.
yeah. Well, there's your calling, little bear. Barrel racing.
Um no. I think I'll I think I'll
There's guys that barrel race. I've seen them. They're
Very
yeah.
few. Mostly it's girls. Barrel racing is more of a girl sport.
yeah. But I mean, when
Yep.
I used to, I'd set up at Buckeye, the arena there. I would there was there's a few quite a few of guys that barrel race. So
Well,
it was so
what's
much
good
fun. It was so much fun.
yeah, well, what's good about that is, when you're in your junior rodeos and everything like that,
Yeah.
there's a lot of the young kids, young boys and everything. They're in the pole bending, they're in the barrel racing.
What's
It's
pole
all of
bending,
that.
little bear? What's pole bending? So my peeps know what that is. What that?
Okay, well, the pole bending is, I got to remember how many poles, but they're lined up in a straight line, and you have to take your horse in and out of them all the way to the end, and then you'll run them straight back. And it's the amount of time that it takes to get through that little maze of the poles to get back.
Without knocking them over.
Yes, don't knock them over.
Right.
But
That's right. Yeah. That I know. I used to take my boys to when they were little. We had we had a little farm when I lived in North Phoenix with my first husband.
Uh-huh.
I always keep all this straight here. And we had horses and all that stuff, And I used to, the boys used to I used to take them gymkhanas. And my brother-in-law at the time had a mare. And I always say mare, so you know where that's going. And her name was Beauty. And Beauty could be a little, you know what? With the B word. And I can't believe that I didn't know any better, because moving from Michigan to Arizona, I didn't know nothing about horses, and I sure learned quick. But I learned how to ride on her, and she probably could have killed me.
Mm-hmm.
But the boys used to take her to gymkhana, and because Beauty was good for her, she was just ornery, and she would, what do they call that little hop? They do this little hop thing. I forgot what they call it. But she would do that.
She'd do that little skip or whatever before she gets started, or
just sometimes, or just like kind of like she wants to buck you off, but not like, just to get your attention. But,
kind of like a little crow hop.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, crow hop.
Okay.
Yes, and so they would put a red ribbon on her tail, so that so people would know that she was a bad girl. and yeah, we actually ended up adopting a horse from I don't know if it was Pretty Penny Ranch in Scottsdale. And
that was there 10 years ago when it started there.
And so we adopted a horse that was used for kids classes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like 17 when we got him, 16 or 17, because I wanted something that the boys could, I could just put him on him, not worry about it, or they could walk around him, kind of thing. He was so gentle. He knew all the commands, everything. And it was quite an experience. We would take him up in the preserve. And I remember one time my brother-in-law was living with us, and he took Beauty was his horse. So he would take like a 6-pack of beer, go up in the preserve, right, for the afternoon. Well, one day the horse came back, but not him. And so we're like, yeah, because we had an alley behind the house, so you could hear her running down the alley. And sure enough, we found, God bless him. We found him just taking a nap under a tree, because evidently he had her tied up there, and she took off, and it was hilarious. So we had to get him back home somehow. And I think we just got on Beauty, and somehow my husband,
our horses that we used to have, they used to know their way home pretty well. We used to ride our horses out from off of Cave Creek and Bell Road over to the wagon yard and the Cheyenne Saloon there.
Yeah.
And then they would find their way back home and get us back home safely. So,
yeah. So just like the parapeeps sometimes they pay people, they have trainers to teach them how to fly. Now, did you have, like in the rodeo world, do you guys have trainers that or do you call it a school that you go to, like bull riding school? Did you have to go to bull riding school to get started in it?
When I first started, like I said, Mr. Charles Sampson, and
he was a nice
helped
guy.
me get started riding bulls. And yeah, they have schools for it. And in my own opinion, and I guess I'm kind of biased on it,
It's okay.
Charlie Sampson, but Mr. Cody Custer,
yes,
is one of the best people, and I have been so very blessed to learn a lot. Yeah, I have been so very blessed to learn a lot from Cody, Jim Bob.
Yep.
And God bless and Mr. Danny Custer, who's in heaven. But I have been so blessed to be able to be around them all of my rodeo career.
Yeah, so we probably ran into each other in Wickenburg, on Constitution, on that street, Constitution. When they would have was it Saturday? They would have rodeos every Saturday or something. They always had. It was either Saturday or I can't say Sunday because it seems like Sunday was church, but it was either Saturday or Sunday. And I remember
Yeah,
me
usually it
and my
was.
ex at the time, he would go there, and that's how he was getting, his picture, learning, doing his pictures and stuff. And we used to go, yeah, hang out with the Custers all day at this rodeo.
Yep, and usually it was on Saturdays on that, and
Okay,
then
I couldn't remember.
when Jim Bob and Danny and Cody and everyone got the Way Out West tour going out there. Um,
All right.
it's I mean they've done so much in the rodeo, but if you truly want to go to there are schools all over. I had Tuff Hedeman, help me out at Estrella
Yep.
Park when Estrella Park was
Yeah.
open.
Yeah. I used to take my
Um,
kids there. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
But if you truly want, a lot of the young kids and everything anymore, they want to be bull riders and do this. Um, it it's not like back in the day when I was doing it. You just go get on bulls. It didn't matter
Yeah.
which ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
now the bulls and everything it's a whole totally different ball game. And
Yeah.
I try to tell all the young kids and everything that are starting out, please go to a school. Go
Yes.
go see Cody. Go learn the right way.
Yep.
Don't get on things you don't belong to get on. That's like me. Um, yeah, I don't want to go get back into the PRCA or go get on bulls that I don't belong on anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell the kids. Go learn to ride jump kick bulls. Go see Cody. Go see somebody that's going to help you be safe and see whether you're going to like it or not. There's
Yeah.
so many kids anymore that they just go out to a practice pen because their buddies say, "Come on, you're going to go ride bulls."
Yeah.
So you're going to go get on a bull you don't belong on, and you're going to get slammed to the ground. You're going to get hurt before you even realize whether you're going to even enjoy doing what you do.
Yeah. And the where how it all begins is, and I know my kids uh, start with mutton busting.
Yep.
Then I used to take them steer riding. They would do some steer riding. If you guys don't know what mutton busting is, it's the little kids get on a sheep and they put a helmet on them and they sit in the chute and they open up the chute and the sheep has run across they have to hang on without falling off the sheep. And these kids are
I
precious.
love watching that stuff at the rodeos. It's funny.
They are so funny. So they start there. And then I think like the junior bulls, I think that they're just as mean as the bigger bulls. So I remember my kids, especially my youngest, he would get on the junior bulls. In fact, Tammy Kelly, that's where we used to go there. I used to take him there on Sundays, Tammy Kelly's school.
Yep.
And he would, and he, wanted to say, I want to be a barrel racer. Not barrel racer. Yeah. Yeah. I want to be a bull rider. And I used to take him, Tammy Kelly's when he was just a teenager or whatever. And yeah.
Well, Tammy's how many world champion female bull rider? She's what?
Great.
4? She's 8 times?
Was she a barrel racer ever?
Tammy Kelly?
Yeah.
I think she was, but she was also a women's professional bull rider. She won 3 or
Right.
4 world champion bull ridings, and that woman could ride some bulls.
Isn't
Now
that
the women bull riders, they can hold on with both hands, can't they?
No, ma'am. They
No?
good
Oh.
question, Michelle? Good
they
question.
ride with one hand just like we do.
Oh, okay. I thought
If
they
you
I thought
Go
they
ahead.
was I thought they was allowed to ride with both hands, being a woman.
Well, they did in a couple of the associations that they could ride with both hands, but most now they only ride with one hand, just like we do.
Oh, okay.
And you can go into the association that I'm riding in now is the Team Don't Weaken and the Legends Pro Tour. they have a women's division only. And then they have the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. And I tell you what, some of these ladies from the ages of 13 up to in their 30s, these women are some bull hands. They can ride, and I would put several of these women up against the guys.
They would chew you up and spit you out, little bear.
Yeah. Yeah, there's several of them. It's like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not competing against you because I'd be in trouble. So, but I mean, they are, and it's come a long way with the women's bull riding, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like the paragliding and the paramotor sport. So, you guys in the chat, when did more women start getting into the sport? Because it's just in the last few years. Because it used to be all guy, mostly you always hear just the guys flying. But how many women do you think we have? You guys in the chat, do you think we have in the paramotor sport now? If anybody wants to answer that, how many do you think? Maybe Weezy can tell me if anybody's got that answer or whatever.
And Kramer said
a man sport.
Kramer said it's Carson's 6th birthday today. She's got to go get cake and ice cream and some balloons and a radio-controlled dinosaur. Then she'll be.
Oh, Kramer said that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Kramer. I could only see part of looking at the. You guys got any questions for Little Bear? The chat's awful quiet here, you guys. You got any questions? Yeah. Let me know how many. How many women are actually in the sport. In the paramotoring, doing the paramotoring, because a lot of them, they have their own schools. They go to paramotor school. Some will choose to. Did you ever have like self-taught bull riders, or they all have to pretty much go to a school? Did anybody say, "Oh, I never went to school. I just learned on my own"? Did anybody ever say that, Little Bear?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. That have come up. I mean, you go back in the day, you really didn't have schools back then. It was a choice. It's, I guess like flying or anything else. It's like,
yeah.
How would I say this? Hold my beer and watch this. We're going to try it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And anymore, the bull riding, it is a big business as far as the stock contractors and everything. I mean, it is a big business with the PBR and everything. You're raising the most top quality bulls that you can get on.
Yep.
And it's different than when we all started way back when.
Yeah.
My advice to a lot of the young kids is, like I said, go to the school.
Yes.
Learn it the right way.
I'm sure Cody stresses that too, to go to school and learn it, just like the paramotors, paramotor peeps or whatever. Same thing, you want to, it's worth the money to have have somebody train you, correctly.
Did you ever meet Lane Frost?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you? Wow.
That's my favorite movie. I love that movie. I can watch that movie over and over and never get bored with it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I went to tough school back in 89 because I was having a hard time staying on my bulls. And that's after I went to tough school. And we used to do a lot of rodeos out the old Rawhide, Lindsay. You know where that was at the old Rawhide in Arizona. They were called the All World Bull Riding Championships. And after I went to a tough school and got confident again, and we all went out there, and matter of fact, Mr. Lane Frost, Cody Lambert, Tough Edelman showed up out there. And we all talked and everything, had a lot of fun. And then that year is the same time as when Lane lost his life.
Yeah.
Sad.
So
It's heartbreaking. I know every time I watch that.
Cody Lambert, he's the one that developed those vests because of that, isn't he?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it
Cody was the
was the one
first
that
ones I
invented
think to
that
come
vest.
out with it.
Yeah.
So have
So,
you met? Have you? You probably met Flint Rasmussen. Did you meet him in person?
oh no, I've never met Clint in person. I would love to. I would have loved to have met him and everything, but it would have
Yeah.
been a blast to meet him.
He's now he does his other things as he retired and all that. But he's got a Facebook Live on Tuesday nights. He does
Yep.
a Flint. So I watch my paramotor show on Tuesdays, right, from 8 to 9, and then 9 o'clock I grab my phone and I watch Flint's. Yeah, I watch. I get in the chat with everybody, and because they talk to the PBR and everything, and I actually back in the day, right, 2000. I think it was in Tucson. They had a big PBR deal, and I had a media pass and everything, so I still have my hats. I got them all signed by these guys who are retired, right? And
Yep.
yeah, and I used to have a crush on Luke Luke. Yeah, I did. Just yeah, I remember one time I was like, I was setting up doing pictures and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, he was like changing his shirt or something, and I was like, oh, but I had more fun with it. So you probably did you ever do the Laughlin rodeo days?
I went there one time in Laughlin. I went there the one time, had a lot of fun. Um, Pretty much, I rode at most all the PRCA shows that we could,
Yeah,
back in the day and everything,
yeah.
in the turquoise
What's
circuit and
PRCA?
everything.
What does the PRCA stand for?
Professional Rodeo Association, the Professional Championship Rodeo Association.
Okay. So how many? Hey, you guys, ask questions in the chat. How many people are still in the chat, Michelle?
As far as I know, they're all in there. They're just nobody really.
Listening. They're probably just they're listening to Little Bear because he's
Yeah.
the coolest ever.
So since you deal with bulls, have you ever really gotten close to that bull Bodacious before they retired him?
No, I never got a chance to. I never got a chance on that one. He's an amazing bull,
Yeah,
and
he was like really. They retired him because he was so mean.
well, it wasn't that he was mean. Is just like what happened with Tough Edelman. He would set you up
Mm-hmm.
and bring you down on his head.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a mean bull. He was just he was
Smart.
a bucker,
Yeah.
and he we used to have a bull out at Estrella Park. The bull was called Booger Red, and I'm sure Jim Bob and Cody know who he is pretty well. But he had a how would I say, like a ball bat, short ball bat on, I think it was on the left side of his head on his horn, and the other one was long. But he'd always set you up to where you'd always come down and smack your head on that side of his horn and knock you out colder than a cucumber.
Mm.
You can relate to that, Little Bear. How many times that how long has it been? Remember when you had a bad concussion, the last one, right? The last one you had, was that at the senior? Did that happen at the senior bull riding? That they
Yeah.
were that you're with you rode with Will
Uh-huh.
and who else? Names.
Oh, there was Will, Tim, Robert Mims,
Yeah.
which is my traveling partner, Shane Durgin.
Yes.
I've had a lot of concussions, and back in 1989, I got on Honeycutt's bull, Alligator Skull,
Yeah.
which decided to rearrange the right side of my face because I got kicked in the face and my jaw went to one side, the right side of my skull and everything was all
Gosh,
cracked and everything.
holy moly! Well, that's why these bull riders are so goofy now.
Yeah, yeah. We're just kind of out there in the ozone layer, I guess you would say it.
Yeah.
But
So have you ever met? Because sometimes I get lost in names here when I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff. The guy that does rodeo time.
oh, TJ, rodeo time.
Yeah, it's called rodeo time, and he
Oh,
and oh look oh okay. So Robert Michaels is in the chat, who is
uh huh,
my son,
uh
California.
huh.
He flies paraglides, but he has road steers,
Hmm.
and he's gonna be in there. He's gonna tell people, everybody, that I'm 80 years old.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
said,
where.
watch how you talk about bull riders.
Yeah. So I yeah, I don't know where he gets his sense of humor from. Certainly not from me. You know,
Oh no, none
no, not.
whatsoever.
I'm very polite. See, Mom is 80. Yep. Yes. Robert said, okay, go ahead, Michelle. You can read the chat.
Yeah, Mom is 80, and Robert says he rode bulls.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, and then he rode, I know they used to, him and his brother used to compete against each other and ride, do steer riding. And I remember one time Robert beat his brother in steer riding, and his brother wouldn't talk to him for days. He was all butthurt because because Robert won, and got the little trophy, whatever, the ribbons, whatever they give them, like Gymkhanas, right? I remember
Yep.
they would come home with ribbons, a bunch of ribbons and stuff. Hi, Robert, welcome. Thanks for jumping in the chat tonight. I appreciate you, dude. He's the
Well, I
best.
tell you what, like I said, you peep flyers or whatever you call it, I think you're all more braver than I am. So at least being on the bulls, I'm closer to the ground than being way up in the air.
No kidding. Oh, what?
Robert said he's eating ice cream.
Oh, don't tell Will that. Will will be all butthurt because you didn't share. But Will fly. We
Well,
choose Will
hopefully,
fly because he loves Dairy Queen. So he's like the
well,
Dairy
hopefully
Queen
he's
kid.
eating mint chip ice cream. That's the best ice cream, anyway. So
What kind of ice cream are you eating, Robert? I'm looking up something here real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, the only flying I've done is off the porch, off of the third step of my porch.
Oh yeah, that's how you.
That's the
Yeah,
only flying I've done is do midair off the porch.
she was
Robert
trying to
said,
do
"Sup, will
rodeo.
fly penguin blue waving tear." What?
Yes.
Penguin blue waving tear. Whatever that is.
Let's see if I can find it here.
But me and my husband, we ride motorcycles. He just got a Harley Davidson not too long ago.
well, that's awesome.
That's an adrenaline rush too, right there.
Yeah, well, I started racing. I guess I was an adrenaline junkie from a little kid because
Yes.
I started racing what they called quarter midgets out there at Estrella Park when I was 10 years old. And then I went from that to racing claimers and dwarf cars and everything out there at Manzanita Speedway. And then I went from that to riding bareback horses and bulls. So I guess you can say it's been an adrenaline deal since I was little.
And you also do you help your neighbors, right, with farming?
Yeah, I usually
Farming.
I just drive a truck for them. We just got done. We had corn harvest, and I just got finished up running sugar beet harvest for them up here.
Yum.
So
Robert said trailer park people are my people.
there we go. Got to have fun in the trailer park.
The trailer park, yes. So I'm thinking of Dale Brisby. That's what.
Oh,
He's the
Mr.
one.
Dale Brisby?
Yeah. Have you met him?
Nope, not personally. We've talked on chats and everything like that, but you know,
He's
he,
crazy. He is crazy because he has, his little, he's got his school and then he has people that work for him. But he told the history he talked about one day on a podcast how he started his business. And it was amazing how he just started out like nobody knew who he was, right? Or whatever. And then he said, people started asking for t-shirts, right? And he said he hated doing t-shirts. This is how it started. He said he hated doing t-shirts. So he hired somebody to do t-shirts. And the rest is history. And now he's got, it's merchandise like everywhere. But it takes a village, right?
oh yeah, it does.
Do that. And I have so much respect for him as far as that, just when he talked about his business and stuff. And then Luke Brangino has he's got a podcast too, and he gets some cool people on there. So I watched that's why I thought, well, why couldn't I get Barry on here tonight? So I wrote some things here, and it's kind of funny. It's some good some fun quotes here. Okay, so these are some old rodeo cowboy sayings. Okay, so I'm going to read some of these. It says, "Don't squat with your spurs on."
Yeah, no, you really don't want to do that. That's kind of smart a little bit.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Will Fly says, so if someone wanted to get started riding bulls, where would they start?
how would I say this? Where would you start? Like I said, the main deal is go to a school. And the other deal is what I say, if you're going to start, it's expensive to start. Make sure you get quality equipment. That is the biggest thing. Same way as with you peeps in flying, you don't want to go inexpensive. You want to get the quality equipment, what y'all do flying, the same way as me riding or anyone riding. Don't get a cheap set of spurs. Don't get a cheap rope or a cheap glove. It's costly to start, but you want to go with quality stuff, because if you go with inexpensive things, the same way with y'all, you get an inexpensive your parachute or whatever that you're flying with, that'd be crazy to do. Your spurs, your rope is the most important thing. Get quality equipment.
So what were they saying in the chat, Michelle?
Let's see. Robert said, I used to practice at a place called Tammy Kelly's.
Uh-huh.
Robert also said equipment equals cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Barry Shepherd said one of Barry's sponsors' favorite saying is "Fear is the thief of dreams."
Yep. It
Ooh.
is.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're fearing what you're doing, it takes away your dream.
Yeah. Well, at Tammy Kelly's, actually I used to get in the arena, and I was a bullfighter. Right, Robert? Say yeah, Mom. Yeah, you were, Mom. Yeah.
Bill H said manufactured house people entered the chat.
Oh wow.
Oh, see how this is it's getting real now. It's getting real.
Okay, let's get real. Let's get real.
The second one is, don't let your yearning get ahead of your earnings.
That's true.
What does that mean, Little Bear?
Don't let your ego get way up ahead of you, because if your ego gets way up ahead of you, it's going to set you way back.
Robert said Mom would be crying when we would ride.
True. Yeah. No, I'd be like, stick 'em. Stick him. Stick him. Spur him. Stick him. Yeah. Yeah. One
Well,
time Ryan fell off the steer and he, I think he got a little bit of concussion. And I remember driving home and he was crying and I was freaking out. I ended up taking the emergency because I was all worried about him because he said, I'm going to get sick, Mom. And Ryan was like, Ryan was always like when he was little. Wasn't Robert. Ryan was like the drama. He was always the drama kid. He was always, it was always something. Mom, I'm going to hurt my head and you're going to yeah, and I had to take him seriously though. I had to take him to the ER. And then I remember driving at night, at nighttime, and I'm trying to get home, and I am the worst for directions. And think about it, they didn't have GPS. So if I remember, this was out in Scottsdale or something that we were out.
Turn right at the saguaro cactus with the short arm.
Ryan got me home.
Kramer said, hey, Paramount, Carson is listening with the whole family. Would you please say happy birthday to Carson? Thank you.
Yes. Happy birthday, Carson.
Happy birthday,
Carson.
Happy birthday.
Will Fly said, just got back from cookout, had an Oreo shake.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. I love blizzards, not the Oreo shake. Because after you drink the Oreo shake, then you want to drink a bunch of water because it's so sweet, kind of thing. Yeah, Robert could tell some stories at the farm, right, Robert? When we had Senator and Beauty. And I told him about your Uncle Ray, how he fell asleep up in the mountain preserve, and Beauty ran back to the house. And you always knew when horses were out because we had a half acre in Phoenix, so it was horse property. And I remember one morning I got up and Beauty, it was my brother-in-law's horse at the time, Beauty got out of her pen. And I don't know if the kids left the gate open, whatever, but I remember walking outside. She was in the yard. Well, I didn't really have any interaction with her, and I never interacted with her besides maybe her being in the pen. So here she is, no halter on her, and she's just standing there looking at me. And I didn't know what to do. So I ran across the street to the neighbors who had paints. And they had a cute little barn set up. And I had the neighbor come over and grab a halter and put a halter on her and the lead rope and get her back into her stall and all that. And the rest is history. Like I said, I learned how to ride on her, and I even got on her bareback one time, and she probably, like I said, could have killed me. But that's how you learn, right? I mean, if you don't know any better,
you got to get right back on.
Yep, you do.
Well, you have your share of buck offs, that's for sure. Okay, so the next one is, this is funny. Don't dig for water under the outhouse.
Yeah, no, that probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Why is that?
That we'll just leave that one alone on that one. We'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Kramer said, thank you, everybody. That was awesome. We got one super happy birthday boy. He'll never forget his 6th birthday. I'm telling them how to save your show so he can listen to it anytime.
God bless that little one. That is so cool. So the next one is don't go in if you don't know the way out. So what would that pertain to? Like, don't get on a bull if you don't know how to jump off of them. I don't know.
That one,
or you get yourself in something that you shouldn't be doing, and then you got to figure out how you're going to get yourself out of it. Something like sport.
Yeah, I would pretty much say that. I don't know. What do you think, hon? Nina says you have it right. You hit the nail on the head on that one. Don't get into something that you can't get yourself out of.
Don't go in. Okay, so the last one is, and this reminds me of like being married. Okay, never corner something meaner than you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yep. And another one is, a cowboy's word is as strong as his rope.
Very
Never
true.
let it fray.
Very true.
So those fun little quirks here that I found before the show, because you can like Google anything, right? And so I found all those, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I can, because we were doing the, the Western theme or whatever, and so it's
So I know my husband says that, like, on motorcycles, if you ever get like to where you're not afraid of the bike, then it's time to step off of the bike. Is that about the same with bull riding? If you ever get too comfortable with riding a bull, you should walk away, because that's when you're going to get hurt the most.
Well, yeah, pretty much, because I don't care. You can go from JB Mooney to Ty Murray, which I knew Ty when he was at Deer Valley High School.
Yeah, I met him in Laughlin,
Yeah,
and yeah, and
and
the Tucson Tucson PBR. Yeah.
it's a deal of I don't care what me. I'll just say it in my own perspective. If you don't have some type of fear when you're crawling in the box, there's something there, something not right.
Yeah.
Because if you get too comfortable and you think it's too easy, then that's where you're going to have your problem. That's
Yeah.
where you're going to have your accident. And probably a lot of people will call me out on it, but I'm sorry. Every time I crawl in that box, there's that adrenaline in there.
Oh yeah.
You
Very
know,
always got to have a healthy fear/respect.
yes, ma'am. You got to have, and that's like I always say, I'll never beat that bull. I'll never ever any bull I have ever gotten on or that I continue to get on, I'll never beat him. All I'm there is to dance with him and stay with him. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
We're we're there to dance and we're there to do our jobs, but I'll never beat him. I don't care uh, any bull or anything. You're never going to beat him. You're there just to have fun, dance, and the bull's going to do his job, and you're there to do your job.
Yep.
What's it saying in the chat, Michelle?
I was telling him, Barry said it's always good to have a healthy fear/respect.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
Robert says, I met Ty Murray at the Prescott Rodeo.
Yeah, Robert, you remember I still have pictures when the old Payson Rodeo grounds.
Uh-huh.
I was so sad when they moved it. It just wasn't the
Yep.
same anymore. And I brought the boys to Payson too. I don't remember him being at the Prescott Rodeo. I remember him. Maybe he's thinking of Payson, but Payson always had big rodeo, and I have pictures of him behind
Robert
the chutes.
Payson.
Yeah, Payson. Yeah. Yep.
Well, then we had Cowboy Christmas back in the day when you went to Payson, Prescott, Sholo, Springerville, Taylor, Winslow back in the day. I mean, that was the big rodeos back in the day then, and there's still
what's Cowboy Christmas, so people know what is that?
what we used to call Cowboy Christmas is we could hit 3 or 4, 5 rodeos, within that week period or that weekend period where we could go from one rodeo to the next and just hit them all. And now Cowboy Christmas they have in Las Vegas and everything where all your vendors and where you get to meet Donnie Gay, where you get to meet everybody in Las Vegas for Cowboy Christmas and everything.
So you have to fill your card, right? You have to fill your card in order to keep your PRCA card, right? You have to.
Yes, ma'am.
So many rodeos, right? Because I remember saying to the photographers that they got to do so many, so many rodeos and everything to. They literally have to earn the card. They don't just give it to you. So same thing.
No.
Right?
Robert says, does Little Bear rope?
I I've done some ranch roping, to gather cattle and everything like that. But as far as uh, going in, professional roping, no, I have not.
That is, I don't even know how they do it. Like, I'll say, because people are going to ask, okay, so what's a little bear? What's a bulldogger? Can you tell me what
Bulldogger
that
is
is with the rodeo sport? Because people, I pretend I don't know. Some people in the chat can know.
right. Bulldogging is where you'll have a steer, in the box, just like you do roping. Uh, you'll have the bulldogger on one side of the chute, and you'll have what you call the hazer on the other side. And what that hazer does is when the bulldogger calls, nods his head for them to let that steer out, the steer has to get out so far. And then what the hazer does is he tries to move that steer over close to the bulldogger coming out to where the bulldogger can slide off the side of his horse, get down onto the steer, and then slow the steer down and flip the steer over. And then that's the time bulldogging.
And you have to be, and with that, well,
You have
that so
you
many
have
like
to be a really good rider, and you got to have some pretty good legs because that's rough on those knees.
so many
Yes.
injuries on that too. Who was it that Cody? He remember he finally had to retire from all the injuries. He was a bulldogger, I believe. Cody.
Oh,
I know you're like me with names, but I know his first name was
yeah.
Cody.
I could spit it out any other time, and
Yeah,
now I'm drawing a blank.
yeah.
But, you
They
know,
so
all
many.
rodeo sports are, you get your injuries from your barrel racers,
Oh yeah,
your team
your
ropers.
horses can flip over when you're coming around those barrels. They can slip and fall. You know,
I
Yep.
hate seeing that too. When that
one
um,
time when I was at a rodeo, I was barrel racing my horse, and we was coming up to some poles. And it was called a figure eight poles,
yeah,
and you had to actually do a figure eight pattern around it. And well, I it was my fault, sort of. She was going towards it, and she went to go one way on one side of the pole, and I went that way, but then she kind of decided to go the other side. So when she went one way, I went the other way,
literally, huh?
literally. And I
Yeah.
wasn't
Well,
I was not in. I had changed boots because my boots wasn't real grippy on the bottom, so I changed boots, and the ones I changed to was worse, and I wasn't in my actual saddle, and that just that was yeah, it was not fun.
my wife Nina, when she was running barrels, her saddle slipped
Mm.
and her saddle rolled all the way underneath her horse.
Woo.
And luckily, her horse was her best friend and her pet. And her horse stopped and went, "What are you doing underneath there? You need to move this back around again."
Isn't
Yeah,
that funny how they
it
yeah.
was funny when I did fall off. I kind of hit the ground pretty hard, so it kind of knocked the breath out of me for a second. But
Sure.
and what was funny is my mare, she was like really attached to me, so she just kind of trotting around the arena and stuff, and these big old macho guys thought they could come up and catch her for me, and they'd come in there all strutting through the arena trying to catch her, and she'd stop and look at them, wait till they got real close, and then she'd take off. And my mom come in there and say, "Come here, Ginger," because that was her name, Ginger. She came up right up to her. Boy, those macho cowboys were all mumbling and stomping out the arena because
I
they couldn't catch her.
I think it's really cute. Like when you watch the barrel race and they have the peewees.
Oh yeah,
The and the moms are out there running with the little ones. The peewees, and don't they go? They always have. They start with the peewees, and then isn't it? Does it go right to the Wranglers? there's like names. They have names for because the kids, the ranking or whatever. Pee-wees are the little ones, and then
Right.
I think maybe when they get preteen or something, maybe it's wranglers or they call them wranglers or something like that.
Something like that. But I tell you what, some of them little 5 to 10 year old girls, they can run them barrels. They are
Yes.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So let's see. So right now, so you still have your PRCA card then, right? You
No, uh-uh.
Oh, you don't have it
I
anymore. So you can't. So if you don't have your PRCA card, you can't go to these sanctioned rodeos, right?
right. No,
Or
that's a
PRCA
young
sanctioned rodeo.
that's a young man's sport, in the PRCA and everything. I ride in the senior tour ones that start out at the age of 40 on up,
Yes.
and I've it's a blast of the senior tours that they have. Um, I was 2018 reserve world champion in the NSPRA, which is the National Senior Pro Rodeo Association. And then 2019 and 2020, I was back to back world champion in the 50 and above in the PSRA, which is Professional Senior Rodeo Association. And this year, I ride in what they call the Team Don't Weaken, the Legends Pro Tour,
Yeah.
which Bradley Boudreau puts on, and Mike Atwell. And this association is amazing. Um,
That's cool. That is cool if
we
they do
will
that for you
be in,
guys.
what was that?
I said that's cool that they do that for you guys. That you
Yep,
can still go to these events. You can still ride a bull if you want to ride one. Like
yep.
they'll put
And
you.
in the Legends Pro Tour and the Team Don't Weaken Tour, uh, Bradley Boudreau they've done an awesome job with it. It's they've got it set up from 18-year-olds to I think it's 34-year-olds that is an open, and they are some bucking bulls. And then you have from 40 years old up to 60 years old and above. We just finished up in Amarillo, Texas in October, and then we head to Las Vegas December 5th through the 8th for
Okay.
our finals up there. Um, and it's it's an awesome deal, the association that they are putting on. Um, it's a great association that they've got going, and they have the women's pro tour in the Legends deal going on also, and they have got some amazing women bull riders that are in this.
That is so cool. What did Kramer say, Michelle?
Kramer just said Little Bear is going to be famous at school tomorrow because Carson is going to tell everybody that a real live bull rider told him happy birthday on a live stream on YouTube. You made his day.
See, I told you that you were a celebrity. That's how I got him. I had to make him.
Walter's in
I had
the
to say, you're a
house.
celebrity. You have to come on my show.
Walter's in the
Okay.
house. He said D-Day, all Trumpsters. And he said, Linda, hi, Darls, XOXO.
Yeah.
And he said, good day, Michelle.
Walter is from Australia. So
Well,
we
I
always know
tell you
there's going to
what.
be a tomorrow when Walter's on the show.
Well, I tell you what, Walter. I have a bunch of my mates from Australia, Mr. Dean Weller, Steve Kelly, all them that ride bulls over there in Australia.
Luke
There's
Kraut.
about 50,
Luke
there's
Kraut's
about 15 of them coming over here to the United States to ride in Las Vegas with us on the Legends Pro Tour.
and they can
So,
ride. Those
And
oh
guys,
yes,
those
they
awesome
can.
can ride. Yes.
Yep.
he was talking about little kids riding. There right now there's this 10-year-old little girl and y'all probably heard about her, especially you, Little Bear. Dusky Lynn
Uh-huh.
Hall. She's 10 years old, and she's became barrel racing's first 10-year-old 1 million in lifetime earnings winner.
Yep.
Uh,
And she is amazing.
that's so cool. And to make, it does take any support,
She
any
wrapped up
support
a
takes money.
it says she wrapped up a successful week at the Breeders' Challenge finale in Fort Worth on September 14th and walked out with over 123,000 in earnings and 2 championship titles thanks to her efforts aboard 3 horses. She barrel races 3 horses.
Yep.
Oh,
She
that's
sure
not unusual.
does.
Yeah, that's not unusual at all.
And she's only 10 years old. She's an awesome little girl right there.
Yes, she is.
Barry Walter says big money bulls. And then Barry said we have 13 old bull rider girls in our challengers.
Yep. They sure do in the Challenger series and everything.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that. That is
Yep.
so cool. That is so cool. Well, look at Haley Kinzel.
Oh, Haley? Miss
yeah,
Haley?
she's always on. She's such a sweet little thing. She's best friends with Luke. So I watch Luke's podcast, and she gets on there, and she's awesome. She's awesome. And then
Haley is a neat person. She is. She's awesome.
And she's very, very down to earth. She's just, that's who she is. And I think it's really cool.
I assume that Dusky Lynn, she's probably going to be hitting the national finals this year.
I don't know. So are they? Well, anybody that's going to go to the finals they've already decided all that, right?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So that would be maybe be next year for her.
Maybe. I don't. Is there an age limit they have to be to actually compete in the actual national finals rodeo? She may have to be a certain age.
I can't say right now, but I'm thinking it's 18 years old.
That's what I'm thinking.
I am not positive on that. I haven't kept up with the, I watch the PRCA and I watch guys riding and everything. But as far as, keeping up with the rules and the regulations and the ages, I am really not sure on that. So
yeah, I'm sure she probably has to be at least 18 to actually compete in that big of an event.
I'm thinking so,
Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing any kids in it, and the ones that I looked it up.
Yeah,
and
I used to watch it all the time, and I've never seen no little kids like that.
No, and I'm thinking it's 18. Like I said, I am not sure on that, but I'm thinking so. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I remember 2015 and 16. I think I went. The Turquoise Circuit final was in Las Cruces,
Mm-hmm.
and I went there a couple of years in a row, and it's kind of cool now because, like then, they used to give you jackets,
Right.
So I've got all my rodeo jackets, and I will keep them forever, and however long that is. But yeah, I wear them when I sometimes just going out because you can't find those jackets anywhere, and it's just a lot of fun memories. Just, I remember in Laughlin, this was before all the high technology stuff, right? So, my photographer husband at the time, I'm not going to say no names, no names, but anyway, we would do the slack, right? So tell me, when people say, you're going to ask, what is slack? So tell me what slack means, even though I know.
Okay, what slack is, I can go way back. We'll go into the PRCA days and stuff like that. If you're a permit holder, because like we were talking about earlier, you just don't get your PRCA card. You have to get what they call a PRCA permit, and you have to win a certain amount of money in order to get your card. So if you're a permit holder, most of the time when you would enter Payson, say Prescott, where they accepted your permit, 9 times out of 10, if you're a permit holder, you were what they called, you were put in slack, which either means you rode at 6 o'clock in the morning before the performance started, your main performances, or you went in at 10 o'clock at night to ride after the performance is over. That's what they call slack time. Or if they've had too many entries, say in your ropings or your barrel racings, or even in your bull ridings in the rough stock, you did not ride in the main performance. You rode in either prior or after. That is what they were considered slack time.
Oh, those were long days.
Yeah.
Those were long days. And I remember, this was before technology. We literally would go try to beat Dan Hubble over to Riverside, and we drop off in the little things of film, those little containers.
Right.
And like people, yeah, I'm like that old. Those little containers, whatever you call them. We drop off 5 or 6 of them, the 1 hour photo in Riverside, and then we would wait. Then they would we'd wait till they call us, or we'd go back an hour, because then cell phones, we didn't have cell phones yet, so that kind of thing. So then, and then the next day, well, no, then we go back to the hotel, and I would sit there and I have to file all those pictures, put the name, put the number and the name of the person that was in the Slack. And then in the morning, we get up there early, and I'd set up a table, right? And I'd have all my little, now they have all this fancy kind of stuff, but I would have all my, pictures and everything, envelopes all set up in boxes, set up for them to look at the pictures, and they could get their pictures right away,
Right.
And they loved it. We like literally, we made a killing, we made a killing on that. But I remember there was a couple of times I'd be sitting at the table, and all these, and it was a stressful job, I mean, somebody had to do it, right, Little Bear?
Yep. Well,
all these cowboys be around my table, and the Wranglers, and the Bulldoggers, those big dudes come and hang out, hang with me and want to get their pictures. And all of a sudden I'd hear, my husband at the time, I'd hear him like, are you okay? Are you in there? I can't see you, because I'd be like surrounded, by
I can go back in the old days when we used to have to call in entries. We'd be sitting at a payphone. One of us would put quarters in to call the PRCA to enter, and there's 5 guys standing behind you. So when the PRCA answered the phone, you go, okay, I want to get up in this rodeo, this rodeo, this rodeo, and here's my permit number or my card number. And they go, okay, well, you're entered there, there, and there. And I go, okay, hold on. And then hand the phone to the other guy, to where there's 4 or 5 of us sitting at a phone booth. We're sitting at your house on the dial phone to call in entries, Now it's you just type in your entry or whatever on your cell phone, and it's
that's how all the George
game.
Strait. That's how all the George Strait songs came on, when he's at the phone, at the phone booth, right? Looking for that pretty lady or whatever. And then what was there was some other things I was thinking of that we did back in the day before all this technology. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a lot of work. Of work. But you're saying, you had to call, and then now they don't do all that anymore. And I'm trying to think of something else I was going to talk about with this with the rodeo stuff or whatever. The bull poker.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
in Laughlin. So tell me, Little Bear, tell everybody what the bull poker is.
Well, basically, you have, I would guess, no brain, but
Yeah.
you you get out there and you sit in a chair, and there's a poker table on there with cards, and they turn a bull outside, and the last one sitting in the chair is the winner while this bull runs around and flips you all over the place. It's like, nope, y'all is crazy. I ain't doing that.
And that's the thing. In Laughlin, there was like 5 or 6 Marines that we became friends with when we were there, and they were out of Camp Pendleton, right? And they were
Uh-huh.
doing the bull poker. So while they'd be out doing the bull, doing bull poker, I would watch all their stuff for them, because we had a little booth thing set up. So I tell the guys, just leave your stuff here. Well, it ended up where even I had literally give them my chairs and my table. That was all that was left, so they could do the bull poker because they had no table or chairs to, it was just those, obviously the plastic, those plastic chairs.
Right.
But, so they said, I think we're going to need a couple of your chairs, because they said we ran out of chairs and a table. So bless their heart, and I still keep in contact with them on Facebook. And yeah, the last day of the bull poker, I still have a picture somewhere, but they were pretty banged up.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I feel a lot safer on the back of them than I do sitting on the ground in a chair. Nope, I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Barry would call his wife to enter him up, and then call her to find out where he was going next. Nina.
Yep, she's sitting back over there at
She's
the
an
kitchen
angel.
table.
Oh my
You can
gosh.
see her right there. There she is, right there. But
That
yeah,
she
she sets up pretty much everything for me, and she's one of the best traveling partners. Um, she says you're
I
going
believe it.
here. She sets up the hotels or whatever, and when
Yeah,
she's there
yeah.
with me, she tells me just do your job. I don't want to hear no whining. I don't want to hear nothing. Just do your job.
There you go. Yeah,
And
just go
so
out there. That's good. She's like your coach.
oh yeah, she's my big coach, and she goes,
She's
make
like
sure you go to the pay window so I can get some more Montana silver, because that's been our deal. That if I go to the pay window, whether she's with me or not, I pick up Montana silver for her. She gets earrings, you know. So, but she's been the blessing throughout. We've been together and married for 31 years, and
that is awesome, because it takes a team. It's a team thing.
yeah, it does. And
Yeah.
without her and the great Lord up above, God Almighty, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for them.
The only
And
the only sport that I don't like out of all the things that they do at the rodeo, it bothers me. It's like, and I don't even think my ex ever took pictures of it either. The wild horse races.
oh yeah,
I'm more worried about the horse than the guys that are, I don't know. I wish they I don't think they do it at the NFR, right? No, they do it
no,
at all these random rodeos, right? Random rodeos, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
they do that at a lot of different like fair rodeos and things like that, and I think some of them they have the wild horse races and stuff at certain, I guess, certain pro shows or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
but
one
other
I
than
just
that, I don't know.
yeah, that's just one thing I don't enjoy. But the same thing, like I just love these kids though that are going, stepping in their 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 mom's shoes or their dad's shoes, like I went to Scottsdale a couple of times, and now look at Luke Kraut. Now
Oh,
now Coy, right? He's
oh
a
yeah.
cool kid. I message him on Instagram a lot, see how he's doing or whatever. But I remember meeting Gina at Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Remember when Gina had her bulls? Gina Kraut when they
Yep.
had their bulls, and that was like 2014, and
Oh,
I remember meeting her, and she was not, and the kids. I remember they were just little things, and now, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
same.
oh,
Barry said 31 years married, 5 kids, 15 grandkids, and they like the cowboy rescue races.
yep.
I love it. I love to see those pictures on Facebook too. You with your grandkids.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. So I've got 4 grandsons, and I have a granddaughter, and my granddaughter has two babies now, 2 girls, and so I'm a great grandma. And then Robert is actually Robert's a pastor in California.
Oh, awesome.
So he's got
Didn't
his
Robert just
baby
get
church.
married?
It's the door the San Diego, I got to say it right, San Diego Door Church. Robert, where are you? Help me out here. And so I actually live stream, and I watch his church on the live stream, and I stay in the chat and have my little wrench, just to keep people that don't want to belong in there, right? So I feel like I'm a part of it. And then Brighton, one of us in the Brighton runs the music and everything, Robert plays the guitar, and then Taven, the oldest Taven, he plays the drums, and the littlest one, he's just more like the water boy, he runs and gets water for everybody for right now. And then the other one does some ushering, as the saying goes. So it's what a blessing to watch them, But
That's cool.
it's I want to get Robert on here one of these times just to tell his story. And I'm not going to go into right now, but to tell his testimony,
Right.
it's pretty cool story. But I'm very blessed with them. And then, I have my son here that lives right by me, and anything, I just call him, he's there or whatever. And he gets me where I need to be and all that stuff. So I love it. I love family. My family's all downstate, Little Bear. And so I've got everybody here, finally. I'm close by. And my mom's 90, sorry, Mom, I'm making you younger. She's 95. And then my daddy, he passed away last year in April.
Right.
And so my mom is still downstate, still has her house and everything, But the crazy thing is, Robert and Ryan, for years, they did not talk to each other. It was one of those things. And they didn't see each other. Yes, he does, Kramer. Robert has a great testimony. Robert and Ryan hadn't seen each other for like 16 years. And last year, my dad passed away. And I think there was a reason for all this, because I kept, praying about it, that they would finally see each other again. And so Robert came to Michigan so he could go to my dad's funeral, to his memorial, I like to call it. Celebration, I call it, to the celebration. So Robert and Ryan got to see each other again. And they talk every single day. And, and the thing is, I'll tell Ryan, don't tell Robert, okay? Robert's probably listening. Don't tell Robert I said this. You think he's going to not tell him? So, that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
So I'm so blessed. But I know it's getting late for y'all because you got home from work. And thank you so much, Barry, Little Bear, Barry, and Nina. I appreciate you guys so much for the time and coming on the show. Now, your friends and everything, all they have to do is make sure that you guys subscribe. And all they have to do is you can watch it again tomorrow. Okay. You just get on my YouTube page and you'll see Lindy's Treehouse, and then you hit like the live or whatever, hit the Lindy's Treehouse, and you can watch it again.
Cool,
So
cool.
it doesn't go away. You can watch it as many times as you want, and you can
Well,
get your
one thing I'd like to do though is that young man's birthday, and you can either message me your address or whatever,
okay.
and I will sign a few pictures to send to you to get to that little guy.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, so then he'll be able to take him to school and go, I talked to him on this chat and everything in the YouTube,
Oh,
and this is the bull rider that I talked
oh,
to.
a signed picture. Oh my gosh, what do
Yep.
you think, Kramer? What do you think? And now I know I feel like I'm getting the yuck that's going around, the cold stuff. You know, the yuck. I call it the yuck. Yeah,
But
I've been fine. And then yesterday afternoon, I was started feeling like, oops, you know, because you feel like you're getting a cold, whatever. But I don't know. I either as soon as I go out, right? Because I
yeah,
stay
but
in the house all week, whatever. Usually I do my walks. I do 7 mile walks. And
but yeah, I'll sign some pictures for Kramer
okay,
and I'll send them to you and you can get them to him. And if
okay.
I can, I truly want to thank my sponsors.
Kramer said
TJ,
he would absolutely love that. Thank you so much.
not a problem. But I want to thank TJ
Yeah.
Spoon Hunter, Rodeo Naked, my wife, Nina, and the Cowboys Angels, Crafts and Creations, um, Pete Luce of Rosegate Farms.
Wow. Wow, that's
Um,
cool. I can actually give you Kramer's address. I still have her address. She's in Texas. She lives in
okay.
Texas.
And
So
I'll send them or whatever. And I got a great friend that came on who's helping with the FFA and everything out of Honduras, the White Mountain Pineapple Company, who's helping out of Texas and
wow.
everything. These are the people that get me down the road to my rodeos and everything. And without them, I mean, you can ask any rodeo cowboy, barrel racer, if you don't have
Yep.
the sponsors and the people, it's hard to do it on your own. It really is.
Isn't that the truth?
And
Yeah.
they are amazing people and they have stuck with me through everything.
The kids all
And
want sponsors, but they don't want to work for it.
that's right.
You know how they say, yeah, I got a sponsor, and then you know how they like BS each other, the kids and stuff, and yeah, you got to have, you know, all that costs money. So then after Lane Frost, after he died, then that's when they decided to do the for them to wear the protective vests,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because before that they didn't use the vests.
Oh
And when I
no.
see videos, it's so weird to see them without their vest on. You know, some of the early videos on TV or
You
whatever.
know, I still know a lot of guys that don't ride with them, you know. And me,
And the
uh
helmet.
2
You wear a helmet, don't you,
years
when you get on the
ago,
pole?
yeah, 2 years ago, I think it was, what was it, 2 years ago, Beb? 2 years ago, I started riding with a helmet due to the fact of a lot of concussions and I had a brain bleed. Um, I mean, it's when we did it back in the day, we weren't worried about any of that, you know. But the
Kramer
vest
says,
is
Kramer says, where does Lou Bear live, and has he ever been to Pasadena Rodeo in Pasadena, Texas?
Good question.
has who?
You.
Me? No, I haven't been to Pasadena, Texas, and rode. I've ridden in Mesquite, Amarillo, um, several other towns in Texas. But no, I haven't been to Pasadena.
Okay. What did Will say? Will said,
Oh, Will said, great show. Little Bear is awesome.
Well,
uh,
thank you.
you are. And I'm so happy that I got you on the show um, because I'm always looking for, you know, people with different backgrounds, you know, like you're in the bull riding. I had a guy on a few weeks back, or like a month or so ago, that he wrote a book. So I got him on the show, to promote his book. And I had another gal that she's a fitness trainer, but she also flies paramotors. So I kind of like, I love to get these people on there and mix it up. And I had another gal on too that does paramotors, and she also she does she called it Wendy's Wireless. And what it is, when she was in Florida, she'd go to people's houses, like people my age, and help them with get their phones set up and their computers and all that. And she did that. And now she still does that sometimes, but now she works at she walked in an office one day for the hearing to do get a hearing test and all that, and they said they were hiring, and so she's in there doing helping out in that. So those kind of people, I love to, I love to mix it up, and I love to know what people are doing. Entrepreneurs, that have that.
Kramer said Little Bear's an awesome guest. I'm sorry I couldn't make the show tonight.
I have to show Little Bear real quick, and then we'll call it a night. The girls gave me a really cool gift. And they get it.
Well, I think it's awesome. You pair flyers or whatever. That's kudos to y'all. I think it's awesome. So
the girls got together, and they have this award thing that they give out every year, and everybody votes. Now, I've always been, I look at my show as, it's not a competition, I've got pair of peeps that have their own show during the week. So I've been following them for years. I just get in the chat and hang out, and I'm always happy for them, however they do it. And I've always been very supportive of the paramotor community and all that. And so one of the girls called me one day, and she goes, "Hey, I'm sending you something." And she sent me this award. It's called Aurora PPG 2024 Milstead Friendship Award.
Oh, that's too cool. Glass.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is awesome.
I literally started crying. Yeah.
That is awesome.
She sent this to me, and every time I have a show, I have to, Susan Ray, like I feel like it's like an Academy Award, Susan Ray is the one that messaged me and said that they had this award. But I have so many people I have so many people in my corner, and so many of my girls, that help me get my show set up and everything. And I have people that, got me up in the air, and Jade and Eric. And I want to say a prayer for Jade and Eric. Eric's the one that took me up on a tandem. And that's when I don't know if you ever seen it, but you sit, it's literally like a trike. It looks like a little go-kart. And you sit.
Yeah, I saw you on that.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that. That's right. And so I take you up in the air. So, so Eric has he's got kidney cancer. So it breaks my heart. And then a year ago, Jade had a paramotor accident. And so she recently lost her foot. And so now she has one of those, what do you call those things they put on so she can.
A prosthesis?
Yeah. So they're the most awesome people ever. And I love them. They're like family. And just like you said, the rodeo family is your family. And just like the paramotor community is my family. And I did the show, and I always say I do the show for you guys, even though it helps me, I do it for you guys. And everybody's been so supportive of me. When I started this in June, and Scuba can attest to that, where my very first show, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, technically wise. It was, and I got like 100 people watching that the first time. I'm like, why? I mean, people likes and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, because I was all by myself trying to run the show, and I really didn't know what I was doing. And finally Scuba jumped in, and rescued me that night, because I was like, I was like a sinking ship, I was like, but and then me and Jade sat one morning for 2 hours, and we did a FaceTime, and she helped me get my thumbnail, because I'm like you, Bear. I didn't know how to do the thumbnail thing, design it and all that. So she walked
I
everything,
have no
got me
clue
on the
on that
StreamYard,
stuff.
and thank you, Walter. I love you too. I really, you guys, you don't know how much I appreciate every one of you, that you come and hang out with me on Thursdays. And so what is Kramer saying, Michelle?
Kramer said, "Little Bear, I'm a female paramotor pilot. I've skydived, flown Cessnas and Piper Cubs, scuba dived with sharks, even been bitten by a rattlesnake, but I don't think you'd ever get me on a bull."
Well, I
And
tell you what,
she's a breast cancer survivor too.
you are an awesome person for doing all of what you do.
Yeah, if you ever met her in person,
It's just, that's just amazing. I used to catch rattlesnakes and everything in Arizona. I used to have to move them, from people's garages and things like that.
yeah.
Well, I tell you what, yeah, you're way above what I am. You are awesome. I mean,
She's the best, and she's my other assistant that I have, on my show every Thursday. So both of my girls, Michelle, and she goes by Gypsy. Kramer goes by Gypsy, and they both, yeah. In fact, I had Kramer come in and Gypsy be a guest on my show one night, and then I asked her if she wanted to co-host it, sit in the studio with me. So she did. And then lovely Michelle came along. And because Michelle is old enough to be my daughter, so I adopted Michelle. She's my daughter now. Yes. And so that makes Randy, God bless the truck drivers. Her husband's a truck driver. So that would make him my son-in-law. So we had fun with it, and so make sure that, you can make sure you catch the show every Thursday, Barry. I'll send you. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, so then you get a notification when the show's going to start. You can watch it from your phone, or however you want to do it, and then you can you can hang with us, jump in the chat like did tonight, and just hang out with us, and so
sounds fun. And
I just want to say I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on here tonight, talking rodeo stuff, because it was so much a part of my life for a long time, and it still is. I still watch the PBR on my YouTube and all that, and then Flint Rasmussen, I watch his show on Tuesday nights and try to keep up with everybody. But I love to watch a lot of the podcasts, and I watch and see what they do, right? And I kind of learn. That's how I learn different things, try different things and all that when I'm doing my show. So I look at it every time I do this, I'm getting better at it.
Well, you're doing a good job. Well, what you need to do, though, is you need to go on there and watch the live stream of us in Vegas on the 6th and 7th of December for the Legends Pro Tour. Go on the live stream from Team Don't Weaken and the Legends Pro Tour, and kind of watch us crazy old guys.
Send me that link. Send me that link, and I can watch it on my phone. I don't have I've got internet, because I got rid of my cable. So everything is, apt. I have the smart TV. So it's all.
That'll all go on there live. And you can sit and watch these 15 to 20 women bull riders there in Las Vegas get on bulls.
Okay. Yeah. And, send me that link and everything. Like I said, your friends can watch. Tell your friends, hey, you need to check it out, because I was on Lindy's Treehouse, and
then, share the link, please. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh yeah, we sure will, Kramer. I missed you tonight, Kramer, but I'm glad you got to see your kids. She's got a family that she kind of adopted, and she brings food to them. She brings food to them every week, and kind of took the kids under her wing, the 5 kids and stuff.
Right.
Kramer's an angel. She's an angel. But yeah, your friends can watch. All they have to do is get on the YouTube Lindy's Treehouse, and you'll see my little thumbnail on there, and you can watch it again. Watch again, and
Okay.
you can actually go ahead and watch again. You can share it. And Nina will know how to do that. Share it with your friends and tell them. Make sure you subscribe. I've got 104 subscribers, so I'm trying to make it 110 maybe. I don't know. By the end of the year. So it's super fun. But you guys have a great evening. Michelle, you have to tell me what shows are this week or
So
tomorrow.
we got Tuesday night. We got Never Trust a Skinny Shane Chef Shane.
I know I could never say it.
That's a tongue twister. Wednesday we have Just Wanna Fly.
And that's JD's show.
Thursdays, of course, is the Treehouse, Lindy's Treehouse.
Yes.
And then Fridays is Scuba Vapes.
Yep.
Cool.
So see, they all have their shows during the week, and I follow them. And
Namer wants to know, Little Bear, if you have any Facebook or any other links to find.
I have my Facebook. I have Instagram and TikTok.
So yeah, so maybe so you can her name on her Facebook is Linda Kramer. That's where you can find her, Little Bear, if you want to friend her, or I can send yours to it or whatever. Send it.
Yeah, just have her friend me on there, and I'll accept it. And like I said, thank you both very much for having me on here. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you though. This was like so cool, and like I said, I really appreciate your time and everything. And God bless you both on your travels and all that stuff. And you're welcome to stop by the chat. The Treehouse Thursday nights,
Sounds
right
good.
here, 8:00. Like we usually run the show.
Kramer says share the Facebook links.
What was that, hon?
Kramer said to share the Facebook links.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I will do that. I can do that for you. I'll find her. Because you have to friend her first or whatever.
Okay.
So
what's your TikTok name on there?
It should be Barry Shepherd.
Okay.
And that's the same way as on my Facebook is Barry Shepherd.
Okay.
Yep. We always have fun on, I always mess with Barry. Told him that, dinosaurs ride bulls now. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
We give each other crap all the time.
Yep.
So let me see. I'm going to read something real quick out of here. We're going to say goodnight.
Okay.
Okay. This is Just Be Kind. I named it. Go out of your way to be good to an older person.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Funny how I
appreciate
picked that
it.
one, huh? You'll discover that you can make somebody's entire day with a smile, a phone call, some fresh pickled daisies, or whatever it is you got. Okay, now this is the next part. Okay, you guys got to listen up, you youngsters in there in the chat. Our elders have so much to give to those who listen. Yeah, to those who listen. That's the magic one. But they are the ones who deserve to receive. Dang straight we are. Yes. Don't pass up the chance to brighten their lives. And Adage. Sometimes I just pronounce words and I think that's what it is, and I just say it. Adage reminds us that they need only a little, but they need that little a lot. So be nice to your elders. Okay. I'm just telling y'all, youngsters, be nice to your elders. But anyway.
Kramer said she just sent you a Facebook request, Little Bear, and so did I.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nina just accepted it for me. She's on my phone and I'm on her phone. So,
okay. I sent you one
Kramer,
too.
it just got accepted.
I sent you one too. So
okay.
Now if you know of a barrel racer, that maybe you want to get on my show, that'd be cool. Barrel
Okay.
racing, maybe does, entrepreneurs kind of thing, does other things besides barrel race. Like, Allison. I asked Allison, she's so busy because Allison, she's the one that she delivers the horses everywhere. She's got her own business and stuff. Like when people need horses picked up at a different state, she goes and gets them and all that. She hustles. But I've known her since way back in the barrel racing days, whatever. So we still keep in contact, but I still have a ton of people. But that's it for the night. And much love to everybody, because at the end of the show, we always do our heart. We got to do the heart. Come on, little bear.
Hold on. I gotta set the phone in a certain way. Hold on.
Okay, that's okay. But we do
There we
the
go.
heart.
How's that?
Yes. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you again, little bear. Thank you, Nina. Like I said, I so appreciate you taking the time.
Kramer said there's multiple Barry Shepherd's people on TikTok.
Wait, it's SHEPERD, right?
No, SHEPARD.
Oh, hey. Well,
maybe there's like a bunch of them. There's like a.
Well, I think mine has my world champion belt buckle on there. On my TikTok.
Hi, Walter. Love you. We'll see you later, Walter. My Aussie. He always teaches me all kinds of words when he gets on here. Yes, that's rubbish. That's just a bunch of rubbish.
That's just rubbish.
It's rubbish. And then he said when he used to work in the produce department, and he used to get mad at people because they'd be like,
is it that one right? I don't know if you can see it. That one right there?
Yep. That's mine.
Okay.
Don't spit on the bananas. That was our thing that we'd say. He'd yell at people in the produce department. Don't spit on the bananas. He could say it better than me. But yeah, I've known Walter like for years now, my Aussie. But yeah, y'all have a great rest of your week.
I just sent you a follow on TikTok because I'm on TikTok too.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Yeah, I turned my TikTok app, I turned it off because unless I see, I have it, but I don't use it that much unless you got like Michelle or JD gets on there or whatever. But this is really cool. Rodeo is a cool sport. Everybody, we're all about taking care of each other, and go out there this week, you guys. Share that smile, give that hug. You don't know what, you don't know what they're going through. And so, yeah, my show starts at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. So you guys are what, 1 hour behind or something?
It's 9:22 here.
It's 8:20 here.
Okay, so you're 2 hours.
Yep,
okay.
We're 2 hours difference.
Okay. Yeah, please come back and hang out with us. And if there's a night we're all just not, I don't have a guest and we're all just kind of hanging out, sometimes I'll just send you a link. Jump in the studio with us, Bear. Just hang
Sounds
out.
good.
So then you'll be really famous, because you're on
just
Paramount USA,
Kramer said she's following you on TikTok now. I'm KD5POW on TikTok. That's my amateur radio call sign.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, KD5. Yeah, I see her. I follow her on Instagram. Well, she is on the TikTok. There's just so much. Yeah, there's just so much out there, whatever. So, like I said, you all have a good night, a good rest of your week. And I will see you all next Thursday on Lindy's Treehouse. We'll meet up here. Make sure I get it all cleaned up so we all can hang out. And you just never know who's going to stop by the Treehouse every week.
Kramer wants to know if you're having an after show chat.
Oh, well, I can. Are you trying to tell me you want me to? So Barry, don't go anywhere. And I'm going to end the show, but you'll still be at the after show with us. and then I'll send Kramer a link because I guess she wants to. Oh, sure. Now she wants to jump in the studio, Michelle. Yeah, sure. Now she does. Yeah. So you hang tight. Don't turn your computer off or anything. I'm just going to end the show, and we'll do a little after show here because I think Kramer wants to meet with you or whatever, wants to talk to you, if that's okay.
Okay.
It's down too long. So I love you all, and I got to get my mouse to work, and so I can end the stream. So I have to turn it. I got a new mouse, and I still don't know how to use it half the time. I thought it worked better, but it must have like a power thing on it that if it's just sitting there, it turns itself off. There, now it's working. All right, you guys, I love you bunches, everybody. Y'all be safe and everything. I'm going to end the stream now, and I will see you. I'll see y'all. See y'all next week, next Thursday, or in the chats during the week. Okay. Mwah. Much love. Bye.
All right. I got to go to the refrigerator real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.